For me, I think there's so much selfishness in the system, especially amongst politicians. They are thinking about themselves. And I'm sure even in this country, some politicians think more about the party more than the country.
Oh, yeah, they do.
They hold the party, in that, esteem than the country that they are coming to rule. But sometimes they forget that if the people in the country are no more, I mean, who are you going to rule? If the people in the country are no more, then the question is, who are you going to rule over?
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for allowing us into your homes, offices, wherever you find yourself doing the watching. We are coming to you from our beautiful edifice here at Onekingmultimedia. See it, hear it, believe it. It's yet another time to bring you another insightful, educative, and entertaining content right here. Kindly subscribe to all our socials at Onekingmultimedia. My name is Hetty. You can also call me Hetilicious, and note that the show is proudly sponsored by Oneking Mineral Water, a taste of royalty. I always say, if you are looking to have a taste of royalty when it comes to drinking water, then I will recommend to you Oneking Mineral Water. Kindly pick our numbers on the screen. Contact us, come to our warehouse. Let's do business together. Presenting to you our big plate conversation. 2024 is an election year. Let's take a quick turn. When we are back, we have a lot to talk about.
Mineral water, Ponsio. Shashamali says so.
Welcome back from that quick commercial break. It's still the Oneking Show, and tonight we are seated for Big Plate Conversation. And joining me to stir affairs, as always, are your favorite people. Starting from my left, I have with me Mr. Richard Kobe Woolley, and also I have the ever beautiful Sika Warman, and also Christian Mensah. Today I took your mister and then I gave it to else.
That's fine.
No peace.
I'm okay. I'm fine.
Let him enjoy it small.
You know how you do it.
Right. Thank you guys so much for your time, and thank you for joining us on the Oneking Show once again. We are about to have another exciting episode as always. 2024 is an election year. Very soon we are counting the days. We have less than 30 days to go to the polls, right or wrong?
Right.
Yes, we have less than 30 days to go to the polls. And Ghanaians, it's a time to make decision. But hey, we are making a decision in one piece, not in pieces. And so tonight on our big plate, we are looking at the role of entertainment, that is music, arts, and creatives, in ensuring Ghana's peaceful elections. We know that over the past years, we've seen them come out with a Sumdwe song, and then we are one together. 2 days ago, I was talking to a friend, and he said, so it's like only election time that we hear, Sumdwe or Ghana, and then the gospel musicians will do some song as if war is about to happen or hit the country, and then we see together as one, but they know that they are not together as one. But because of elections, they are together as one. So it looks like the creatives do sort of play a role in promoting peace in Ghana when it comes to elections. I can't say same for other countries, of course, but let's talk about us. December 7 is approaching. And so, Chris, talking about the historical context, we know that over the years, we've seen our people do peace songs and all of that stuff. Talk to me, share with me some of the few you're aware of.
So, sometimes it becomes even a bit difficult trying to get a title of these songs, even though we know the songs and we've heard of them. Now, sometimes it's a bit difficult trying to get the titles of these songs, but maybe the titles are peace or oneness and all of that. Promoting one law, promoting oneness and all of that. So in the past, we've had countless number of peace songs from various artists. Sometimes they put themselves together to produce a song. Sometimes, you have individual artists singing. There was a time we had, I've forgotten the year, but Obrafo, Kwabna, Yem for Domo. Yeah, it was more of peace, yes. Yeah. Mama, Yem for do, and Yasum Jintina, Ghana, my. So, so in the past, we have had Stoneboy, Can Promise, and all of those artists come together to produce peace song. There is one Stoneboy, an episode with No War. So when it gets to this point, or at this point in time, when we are getting closer to a general election like that, the musicians will come together. They produce song. I feel that they want to remind us of the peace that we are enjoying in this country, not necessarily because there is going to be war. You understand? But I feel that it's just a reminder. They want to remind us of the peace we are enjoying and to create the awareness that, Charlie, even though we might belong to different political divides, but we are one people. We are still, talking about Ghana, and we all want Ghana to develop. And so we are looking at the general picture, and the general picture is that we are looking forward to having Ghana developed. And so it is not time for war. It is not time for anything. We have just come for an election. We want to find a job for someone's father, for someone's mom. You understand? So it isn't the fact that you have to go out there to fight, amongst ourselves. I feel that it is a way to go, because people will preach NCCE and then the NCC. They'll go out there, public announcements, don't fight, no war, and all of that. What do musicians also have? What they have is a microphone. And so they can just bust some lyrics on the microphone. You understand? Yes. And then they will tell the people, remind them of the election coming up. In fact, if you look at this time, I haven't heard so many of them. In fact, on the EC's official website, we have 22 days to go. Yes. In fact, what we know is that we have 23 days as of now. But on the EC's official website, we have 22 days to go. So maybe they are not counting.
No. They count the policemen and the journalists who would vote a day before the election.
Okay.
The media has their time, so that's how they count.
Okay, that's how they count it. So the
general elections is on the 7th. But there will be the
pieces of elections.
No, you see, the Abambafo, those in the security agencies, those in the journalists, those who hold those that they can't vote on the 7th.
Okay,
they get to do their own the day before.
So on the EC's official website, we have 22 more days to go. So for me, in the past, we have had a lot more of these songs, especially.
Right,
songs,
right.
Yes.
Sika, let me quickly come to you. Why do they wait till elections before we see all of them come together for this type of songs?
I think with this one, it's because it's elections. And as Chris said,
we don't need peace until election.
The country, we all know that the country Ghana is actually a peaceful country. Even though, when we bring in all these technical things to check us here, we fall a bit, but generally we are a peaceful country. But sometimes I think it is necessary for us to remind ourselves that we need to maintain this peace that we have, because there are some countries that haven't been able to recover from war, and it is really affecting them. So we really need that reminder that, yes, we need to keep it in mind that when you go to the polls, go and cast your vote and then come back home. Come and eat your banku and eto and acheke or whatever. And then when voting is over, you can go back to your polling station and then witness the counting and everything goes down. After that, pack your tools and then go back home. So that reminder is very, very necessary. And for entertainers also, being on the front line, campaigning, and also making sure that the people get the message is very important, because they have the influence. I think, was it last week or so, or earlier in the week, I saw a video of Nanama McBrown. I think she's touring some secondary schools in the Ashanti region. And she went to her alma mater and she was talking. And, oh, boo, baby, sir. And then they started singing
Paluta.
I said, "No, you're bonnet down."
Like for real.
They were like, "No, that is not what he was talking about."
The influence.
So the influence alone, yes. So they really have the influence. That is why we are talking about galamsey or something happening in the country, and we would want these people to also add their voice to it, even if it's just going on Facebook or going on Twitter and making a post. So we know that they are influential. So it is very necessary for them to also get on board with
nice one. Willie, let's go back into history. What is this particular peace song you still can easily recall?
Before I go to my turn, I wanted to say, for the years, we've heard a lot of peace songs that I can't remember. But the only song I remember that joint artist or joint stars in Ghana did was when a president died. That is the only song I still remember.
That was not a peace song.
If I were to be at any quiz and they asked for a peace song, this was a song.
Exactly.
Well, because the man was peaceful. I mean, he was standing.
But I've mentioned two here at least. I've mentioned No War. Stone Boy and a peace episode.
Why wasn't that popular?
I think there was a Shamali and some other ones also.
Who knows that
had some too.
Me, I don't know those.
You forgot to.
I have also mentioned Obrafour and
myself, I don't know the song.
So
I don't know the song.
For me, I believe it is important to preach the peace message.
Right.
If you look around us, almost all the African countries across, around us have had a feel of election rifts.
Ghana is lucky.
Yeah.
But Ghana, we've been lucky. We've been enlightened to the point where we understand. Go give your vote to whoever you want to give. If you want to give it to Mr. Degeta,
Go and do it and
if you
come
want
home.
to give it to Mr. 24/7, if you want to give it to Nana Kwame,
whether you are zooming or you are promising or possibly,
it is your choice. Nobody cares about that.
Yeah.
But my issue is why the song?
So there's an issue.
The song. Do we know the budget? A peace song people would do for, the peace songs they do for elections, and election is close. We need to do a peace song.
What if it's their way of supporting elections in Ghana and that?
Where come again?
But the musicians, if
Who
they
does anything free
but
in this
wait,
country?
if they are going to record a song, it's not now that they come to build a studio.
No, you don't understand what I mean. I'm not talking about the musicians themselves.
I'm
just saying, see, if they decide to do a peace song for the musician, the person might know. If I record like a verse, the government will give me 10,000 for TNT. But the question is, what is the budget that was sent to the government?
Okay, we will
come. It is someone's chance to loot.
We will come to that one. Now, let's look at music being used as a tool for peace. Let's examine the specific songs. I remember the song from Shatta Wale. It's just a beautiful song. Say Nana Kalipo. Say Mahama Dia. Mahama Paper. The thing is, he's trying to tell you have your choice. You can go for Nana Kalipo, you can go for Mahama. In as much as you are dancing to the tune, he's trying to convey to you that it's not one particular person you have to, forcefully vote for. Say Mahama Paper. Say Nana, Nana. I'm coming. So now, we've had a lot of musicians come out with songs, some particularly for political party, some to general one that votes for who you want. All we're looking for is peace. Let's look at some of the ways we can use music to promote peace in Ghana without making someone's party look like that's not it. Let me start from you.
Not to digress, but you see, when you were talking about the music they are doing, it's a good tool to use to promote peace, because one of the few things that easily gets into people's head, or even the young people, is music. Is always in people's head because of how it sounded. But if it was just a normal word, nobody cares about it. So generally, I think music plays a role. But again, the Ghana man that I am very crucial about my money and my taxes. So the question that some of us always ask is, what is the budget for these sort of things? Is this another chance that we are all claiming peace? Someone wants to use a point to loot money? The fact that we are saying, it's good, we would have to do this course, and nobody's against having a peace song or preaching the peace message. Of course, it's what will benefit all of us, but not at the point where people would use, yeah, come on, and they are stealing your money. It's like you are rubbing my wounds and you are puncturing me with pins. That's how it feels, because I feel like whenever these things come up, somebody's quota is somewhere. But
at the end of the day, we are the same people seated and always saying that the government is not investing in the creative arts. So if the government say, okay, you want a peace song, you say you are talented, do it, bring it. Let's take it to the board. Once it passes, we give you your money. That is also our way of supporting your craft.
You don't seem to understand where I'm coming from. Where I'm coming from is, I am not against the government supporting them with funds, but the budget for the funds,
where the money is coming from,
where the money is coming from, and how are you going to even be accountable for the X amount of money that was brought out? If you tell me, okay, because we hear this all the time, okay, the government set out $2 million to do a song.
Have you listened to budgets where they say the excesses where
that is where I have a problem.
Why do you have a problem?
That is where I have a problem, because at the end of the day,
you live in a country where
who sat in office and did nothing.
You live in a country. You live in a country where entire finance has been shrouded in secrecy since you were born. It is now you want to ask for budget.
Exactly. That one.
So get used to it.
See, finance, they've got those who do finance.
Exactly.
I am a creative art person. It is coming into my point. So I would want to look at it from the creative art bit.
If they were bringing you the money to go and paint or do spray,
I'm a noble man.
No, I'm coming at runabout, and they give you 100,000. Will you ask them where the money is coming from?
I will be honorable and do the budget according to.
It is not. No, you're not. You're not listening to the question. I'm asking you. If they give you the 100,000, will you ask the government, hey, now where did you get this money from?
You need to, because Asemba, they'll have to go through
There is no way.
There are people
No,
I'll do it.
Let's be real.
No, you wouldn't.
Let's be real here.
I'm an honorable man. I would never do that.
You have been given a contract to work on the road.
You're coming to ask me where I got the money from.
And then they've given you money.
And then
you bring your budget, whatever, as a contractor. Why would you go and ask where they got the money from?
No, where the money came from is not.
But that is what you're asking.
No, that's not the bone of contention. You don't seem to understand. The bone of contention.
You're talking about budgets.
Yes.
Why did they put this?
The budget I'm talking about is, I know probably the song I did cost me 10,000 Ghana cedis. But the next moment, they will be reading the budget. They will tell us that they use 100,000 Ghana cedis to do the song.
All that matters is you have your money.
No, that is where we are.
Who are where? You
that
are there alone.
Where we are.
You are there alone.
So generally, for me, that has been my issue. But when it comes to preaching out the message of peace, everybody is for it.
Exactly.
And I think the medium of selling things with music makes it very easy. You remember, a bowl of kenke will be sold for 10,000. Will be one Ghana first.
20
pesos. It had to ring in your head in a certain way, because it was true music. So I believe if you want to talk about peace, they should do it and do it well. And
right now, let's take a look at when we come to the entertainment sector. We have the arts, and then the people doing the drawings, people crafting, and all of that. Let's look at that one, arts and then public awareness. So we go out. Let's take a look at these billboards, these paintings. How can we channel the message through it? Sika.
We've got so many. This one to be another issue. Speaking of infrastructure, because I think recently, was it yesterday or so, the first phase of the Spintex Flower Pots Junction interchange or whatever it is has been opened, and there've been some murals or graffiti on there. And I think it's also something that we should pay attention to. In as much as it also beautifies our city, we can use it to send messages across.
Right.
Like we have a space like that, and then we make a painting or a mural or a graffiti telling people not to litter. The last time I used the rail lines, I think the one around beneath St. John's School, yes. They had this beautiful graffiti there, yes. It was so nice.
I have my name inked there.
That shows you're a rascal when you went to school. Yeah, it is only them that you go down the road and write your name.
No.
And those with their names on the chair.
No,
so only rascals.
So we can actually do that.
There.
So rascal.
Like when it comes to Sekendi Takwa, they say our interchange has been completed.
Yeah, some paintings.
Before right after they mounted the blocks and stuff, I saw some people writing their nicknames.
Look at that.
Posting bills and
look
church
at that.
flyers and stuff.
Sometimes you
gotta
leave it there.
But sometimes too, I feel like we can do this, but does the average Ghanaian understand these things? Because you go to a country where they use these mediums to send messages across. They use these mediums to build certain or push certain agendas and campaigns. But for us, we will go and see it, like this graffiti that I'm talking about. We see Willie has gone to write his name there. But this is something that's supposed to beautify the place, make the place look nice. So even if we do it, you get people going there to destroy it. Yeah. I was here, Sam.
Willie.
They will go and write their names there. But in as much as
to leave a record there.
In as much as all these challenges are there, I think we should put in the effort, especially with this. We cannot just do it through music. If we are going to take advantage of the whole creative art, then we should as well take the whole tree, not just one branch of it.
Right. Chris, let me come to you. Let's look at social media. How we can use social media to channel the agenda for peace. The influence of social media.
So over the years...
but before that, let me ask you, do you think it's necessary to have influencers for peace during elections?
I think...
looking at how they can influence aphrodisiac and then those things for people to buy.
Influencers, as the name suggests, they influence.
Some of them really people, have the influence.
Yes, of course. I remember this statement from Sarkodie and Anatwaso. I know that particular statement in that Happy Days song. I mean, it got into some people's head. You understand? I mean, some celebrities or some influencers, are really influential on the people that follow them. Yes, whatever they say, they hear it as something different, sacred. And so, they would want to do whatever the celebrity or the influencer, whatever they say. So, it is great for them to, front some of these things. I mean, you cannot take them away. It is very great. If you have influencers leading the pack, preaching peace out there, I mean, why not? It works and it will work. We need them. The same way they sat down, thought that when we use the influencers in advertising alcoholic beverages, it will be a problem. It will be a problem. So they should use them. Yes, in promoting peace. Why did they decide that no, influencers and popular people should not advertise alcoholic beverages again and bets again? You understand? Why did they do that? Because they know they have the influence to influence, especially younger people and younger generation. And so, therefore, if you want to preach peace, those are the people you also fall on. I mean, they can do their job. And so that's why most of the times when it is time for elections, you hear influential musicians, they do the peace songs. Yes, the influential musicians are the ones that do the peace songs. You understand?
It's the corrupt ones.
Oh, no, I don't want to go there. You understand? Because
what makes them
making peace songs makes them corrupt?
No. It's the campaign songs. I'm saying the ones
not campaign.
It says peace songs.
Campaign.
Yes.
So Sarkodie and Kwame Eugene are corrupt. That's what you're saying.
Did you
Kwame Eugene says he's not.
That's a liar like that.
Did you hear the words from my mouth?
A liar like that. Now, Sika, let's look at some of the ways in which NGOs and musicians can collaborate to push the agenda of peace. What could come out of these?
There's been times where we have the likes of UNESCO, these UN peacekeeping and all that. I think with the UN peacekeeping side, they are really on our side because of Kofi Annan. Yeah, the late Kofi Annan. So,
until that man came.
Which man?
Dr. UN. Until he came and he decided to use UN to gift our superstars water bottles and everything.
So with the international organizations, they've actually helped. But I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but there's been cases where certain African countries, let me use African countries, certain African countries have gone to the polls and war has broke out, and after some findings, it's been alleged that some of these so-called NGOs and these organizations,
were behind it.
Yes, they were behind it. So I feel like in as much as, because Ghanaians, Charlie,
you trust some person.
And we are always trying to accept, our arms are always opened. We always want to accept everything that comes our way. So in as much as these organizations are all there to help stand in and also try and promote peace, we also have to be vigilant. That's why we should invest in our organizations as well. We have to make sure that the NCC is fully equipped. I think it's one of the organizations in Ghana that is poorly equipped. And we've always been talking about NCC because their main job is to create awareness on everything and anything that will pose hazard or anything on us. So we really have to invest in that. We shouldn't, and I feel like it's just when we are getting to the polls when we sort of hear so much about NCCE.
Right.
We shouldn't just hear about them during election years. We should be hearing about them throughout the years. We shouldn't, I think the most times that we actually heard from them was, I think, during COVID era.
Yes, and I think was it the TV license era time because they needed money. During
that time,
my life.
TV license era.
Were they not the ones spoiling the fellow Ghanaians? Then they will come and another will wear the prints and then come and talk to us.
So they really have a role to play, and they can, because I remember even in senior high school we had an organization, the NCC, where they will come and talk to us. We go to schools. They will put together a competition where each school has a topic to talk about. I don't know if it's still ongoing, but all of these things also help in sending messages across as well.
Now, Willie, let me come to you. So imagine our creatives, come together and say, okay, we want to go out there and then have this creative campaign where we are teaching people how to actually use the ballot paper. How to, there are people who destroy the votes by
using
exactly. Then once they sustain, it's zero. So how do you side with me if this is a beautiful idea? We have the likes of Sarkodie, Shatawale, Stoneboy, and all these people decide, okay, the week we are going to Polygono. This week, I mean, not the enlightened places where you see they need some sort of education. They go there, okay. So when you pick it. Once you put your thumb on wherever you want to vote, you just fold, ensure that you've already wiped the ink off your hand, then you fold. Ways of teaching them how to even, behave, how to carry themselves during the electoral process. Because trust me, their influence is
I like the
undeniable.
name, but take Sarkodie out. You can use any other person because
Dope Nation and Keche.
Okay. Oh, no problem. That's fine. Because none of them have endorsed any political party, so they are good to go. Because the names you pick are people who have been neutral. So when they go there, it's not like there's a political backing. Right. And I think what you are saying is something that most of these political parties are doing. Like if you watch some of, I think I've seen
they show how
you should go and vote. So I think it's something
about
that
these
happens.
people coming on board, for them to go, in as much as we love your song, you also teaching us something.
It's a very nice idea where the NCC should try and pick up this
They
initiative.
don't have budgets for their addresses.
But again, the influencers are the issue. Like the budget to give them is also something on its own. Because I feel the message of peace, I feel we've gotten to a point where, Hetty, I don't need to tell you that you don't need to fight for a politician to win power. Like I feel
we're at a point where I don't need
to tell you, because the point is you are going to elect someone's father to get a job to better their life.
The kids will drive with one hand.
Put on
Snapchat.
You sometimes. Also be selling coconuts on the streets. No, they don't know when they get close. You see, you wouldn't have that kind of thing. So it's just a choice. It's A, B, and C. You go there. This morning I woke up, I feel like I want to vote for Mr. A, Mr. B. You believe in their policies. It doesn't mean you should go fight with your brother because it is just an election. The NCA is supposed to champion this cause, and it's a good cause.
So let's look at the role of traditional and cultural practices that promote peace and unity. When you come to Ghana, eating together, handshake, hugs, being able to sit, to have conversations without any tantrums or noise, or all these things are traditional and cultural ways which we promote peace. If we watch some of the campaign trails from our what do you call it, our presidents, those who are going in for the position and all that, some of them even go to the people's house, they are doing banku, some are pounding fufu,
some are washing their clothes.
The thing is, they are trying to communicate that I have come down to your level. We are
one door-to-door campaign.
You see, so in as much as you are doing this, what are some of the ways that one you are doing? You are promoting, you are pushing yourself. That's I am just like you. My head is open, and so when you vote for me, we are on the same level. But let's look at the peace one. This one is not your political party one.
Okay,
the peace one. So wouldn't it be nice when we have Mahama and then Bawumia sit? No, I'm creating something.
Yeah. I love what you are creating.
So what's it be nice when we have Mahama and Bawumia sit? Let we see these people have tea conversations, food together, buffet. Some to send the conversation that but these people that we are fighting for, but these people are eating, and then me, I join NDC, MPP. We can't even eat kelewele together. We are fighting. And then it's in your phone, and another person we
savage.
But that's what he said. Didn't he say it? One shop a panel swan and it's in your phone. Is that not what he said? I didn't say it. That's his campaign message. Yes. It's simple. So I'm trying to say that, see, pushing the agenda for your individual political parties is different. Now, let's talk about peace. When you talk about peace, no political party matters. It is Ghana. What are some of the cultural practices we can put? These togetherness, people eating together, handshakes. Because it's like, hey, I don't remember the last time I saw on TV that any of these political people have clashed and maybe a handshake or a hug. I've not seen that before. Like, it's been a very long time.
But when they
meet at funeral, they do.
They do those things.
When they meet at funeral, they do.
No.
When they meet at...
In this time, almost everybody is going around doing campaign.
They don't
so how
have
can we sit and have that sort of caucus?
So you see, right now, all we are pushing for is our individual parties. We are not pushing Ghana. So what I'm saying is, if we really want to use traditional practice to also push Ghana, let's drop our political parties for a second. Let it breathe.
But we are
because you know what? At the end of the day, I tell you what. Whether party A goes for campaign or party B goes for
People know.
It is not where you are going and the banku and those things that will make somebody vote for you.
But sometimes people, these things can influence
people.
It really
can, but my dear, to convert about 1 million people is difficult.
Yes, but even if you are able to
so what I'm trying to say is, let's find a way of using our traditional practices. Like eating together is very necessary for me. Imagine, funny enough.
But you see, they don't trust themselves.
Funny enough.
They don't trust themselves. Don't even go there.
What's about telling her?
It reminds me of that video of Kim Jong-un and then Vladimir Putin.
Please.
Nobody wants to drink from the glass because they don't trust themselves.
You see, even people from the same party, they don't trust themselves.
People are poisoning themselves.
Even people from the same party. Even people from the same party. And from different parties. No.
Oh, TZ, come up.
So why did you mention TZ?
That was the story we heard in the past. So we'll
imagine our VC right now. It's a Notna. And Mahama to is a Notna. So the way they can eat the TZ without condemn.
They have stood on platforms saying, oh, he's my brother. This one has said, this is my brother. So, I mean, there has been that conversation, even though they have not come together.
And when they are doing campaigns, they call each other Yanum.
For the party. You see, no, but for that one, it's the game they are playing.
Yes.
It is the battle for, they would always find a way to throw jabs at people, Jack Toronto, Mr. Incompetent. Everybody would try and drag their friends.
But Mahama Sofedo, incompetent Mahama. Like,
this matter you are bringing, this table you are shaking, the zeros, so I beg. It will break.
Let's move on and look at celebrity influence.
You didn't make us talk about that.
Yes, I thought we all said out. You said it's impossible.
No, I mean,
it's impossible.
Aside from that, we can look beyond them. And individual people. You know, this morning I was somewhere around is it Kwesimetim taxi station, and those selling around, they were debating. Some way say blah blah blah. I don't know if a pastor or a prophet has prophesied that someone is going to win or whatever, and it has become a debate.
I see a woman.
Those in the spiritual world are voting.
I see a woman.
Future.
They said they
I
vote,
see
they
a
voted.
woman, and the name pops up as Harris. Away.
Sometimes the prophecy don't go how you want it to go. Sometimes God switches to
That is a big joke.
No. But there was a pastor who said this week bees and those in the spiritual water, marine water, and the rest are going to vote ahead of us, so they will select before we go.
Oh, okay.
So they were debating and they were working together. These guys were sitting, they were working together, and they were having a debate, you know, regarding the prophecy. And I could hear them talk about the various political divides, and they were sitting. I mean, it has always been like that. No one is going to. Yes, there can be some excesses,
there are
but
people who go
beyond
that far, like the normal Shatawale and Stonewall conversation. You hear in some of the Zongos and the rest, a Shatawale fan has gone to beat a Stonewall fan because they were arguing that who has more scars, who has more money. Recently, O'Reilly Senior High School, the boy who killed his friend, he said his father is richer than him. I mean, it turned out to be a fight. So
those things are there, but I don't think, and those are excesses. I mean, those are excesses, but you know, I don't think these things are going to, when you don't have the political parties sitting together to talk about peace. I mean, even for them to sign the peace, whatever, they are running away from it.
And
the political parties are running away from signing the peace, whatever.
These debates that they always throw, can that even be a peace conversation?
The debate?
No, but they're
not interested in that one.
They are not interested in that one.
And one thing I want people to know is these politicians, they might sit back and say, go and fight. They don't want to fight. They have a lot of properties in this country that, excuse me, if there's a problem, they will lose all. None of them wants to fight. Mark it anywhere. Do you know the number of buildings some people have?
Yes.
If there is a war, they will lose all of those things.
And
they wouldn't dare.
And the normal circumstance, our traditional rulers should have led this campaign.
Yeah, I was just.
But they themselves are politicians now.
A lot of them are galamseyers.
Now they still statues.
They themselves are politicians. You understand? They themselves are politicians.
Now they don't start this. But it's true.
I'm not here.
But it's not true.
They are not able to lead the charge.
I'm not here.
I was just about to say that.
They are not able to lead the charge.
What Hetty is saying, I mean, it's right. But
Yeah,
I feel
it's right.
that is where the traditional leaders also come in.
Yeah, but they are all in bed with the politicians.
So it's not like they're in bed. Like they want to appreciate everybody with dondo, statues, billboards. So now they don't even think about like those things because they feel when you came, you've done this, you've done that.
He already has a place of interest to talk about.
Oh yes,
he has a place of interest. How can you start with dondo? Who is wedding here?
No, but
who has a white cloth on their head?
You know,
who is mentioning white cloth?
You see,
who has a golden suit here?
No one has mentioned any white
suit. Who has a golden suit here that you are?
But I never spoke about golden suit.
Let's move on.
So this is the point where the traditional leaders also have to play their role because you guys cannot be just selling our lands and also reselling and on selling and selling again.
I don't know how they do that.
They have to also talk to their people because they are closer to the locals. They are closer to the people, so they have to get closer and then talk to them and just send the peace message across.
Now let's look at celebrity influence. For some time now, our musicians and all these people, they say they are celebrities. When you call them stars, it's a problem. Celebrity, I say when you die, we won't celebrate you. We won't mark any memorial of you. When you are die, you are gone. We won't make any memorial.
That is why we are building the statues now as we are alive.
Now let's look at the impact of public figures and entertainers on voter behavior and attitude towards peaceful election. Let me come to DKB. So we're here when he did the 24-hour. He went to do the narration. Pastor to even cause the NDC's headache. They didn't send you. If you don't understand it, and say I don't understand. You go and say the thing different. And now you've even bruised people's hearts more to even have hatred.
And I think the NDC issued
why would they issue
a disclaimer?
Yes.
If they like, they should affiliate.
No, but I think they said one for the MPP, which was pretty nice.
Because he understood everything he was saying. It makes sense.
And I'm sure the whole party was also on board with it. But with DKB's own idea, from his own will, I don't know. He didn't put pen and paper down, nothing like that.
Do you see how?
Probably he was.
Do you see
joking.
how Carlight landed the Kivo? This thing.
Yeah.
I'll bring it to your face. I will. For you
or
to accept.
Maybe he was just joking.
He wasn't
joking.
He wasn't joking.
He meant it.
He wasn't. But this celebrity influence. I mean, let's take the recently ended U.S. elections.
Right.
For example, they had lots of big celebrities.
Cardi B, Beyonce.
Yes, everywhere. The Trump side had Joe Rogan and all these big podcasters who are conservative, mounting the podiums and also speaking. And the Democrats also had their own people. I mean, that's why we had all these popular. Some of the campaigns or the rallies turn out to be concerts.
Yes.
They have they mount all these concerts, and people actually will be like, because these people have influence, people would actually follow a particular politician because of the endorsements coming from his or her favorite celebrity. Yeah, so with them, they really have that. But when you come to Ghana too, sometimes because there's already a problem with celebrities endorsing political parties, we are really not there yet. We don't really understand. The average Ghanaian doesn't really get that yet because we are here when some public figures or celebrities have endorsed political parties and their career ended. Or they had to go on a long break and then re-strategize and then come back because they endorsed a particular political party. And then now, say NPP is in government and NPP decides that, okay, we are coming to have our elections, so let's bring some some public figures and celebrities together. Sometimes when you are a musician and you want to jump on it, you'll be thinking some way because you feel like people are still going to affiliate you to the NPP because it's the NPP that is in power. So if anything of such is going to happen, they are the ones sort of organizing it. So in a way, you are on their side. You get it? So musicians, sometimes they would also not want to associate themselves to it unless say, okay, this one, we know that it is coming from Peace Council, National Peace Council, or this is coming from NCCE. Then we know that, okay, this one, they're fine. But if not, then, Charlie, at the end of the day, I don't know. But I'm hoping that we get to a point where we wouldn't have to be having all these peace songs or walks.
We should really prioritize it already.
We should get to a point where, because Charlie, there are so many things to do. There are so many countries where when they are going to the polls, you don't hear these things. All you hear is that they are just going about campaigning, having their rallies and stuff. There's nothing like, now we have to before we turn to South Sudan.
Flag around the short
we should get to a point where we don't have to all gather at
Jubilee
grounds.
Yeah, bonfire or my Ghana.
Obia ba country for Ghana flag, bra. Now we all stand and we have to get to the point where we don't have to be doing all that. The world is advancing, and social media can also
for Mother Ghana. Oh, Mother Ghana.
If a body for the minus or minus well,
let's look at post-election, creative expression. And I'll cite Cardi B. So after the election, where you realized that Harris didn't win, she went to her Instagram, congratulated the lady that she has really fought a good fight, and that America would forever. But still trying to let on her side her fans to know that even if I was supporting Harris because of Cardi, and then Harris didn't win, she has actually accepted she so why will I want to go out and fight? I learned some people actually committed suicide when they found out that Trump
really broke them.
Trump is I read something on Facebook. A friend says, okay, let's move out of US for 4 years because I can't afford having him as my president.
And some people have actually left.
Do you understand? Some say they cannot have the man as their president.
Some currently in Canada, they had to relocate.
Yeah, some and when they don't have him as the president, they will come back. So if these celebrities endorse some parties and then they don't win, and they come out publicly to, we accept the results. And so I think it will carry this narrative to them that, right? But it's like we don't see our people, our creatives down here do that. We don't see that.
See, the issue is our creatives down here, they see it as a business. They don't see it as how, like, you see how Cardi said she liked what Kamala was doing, so she felt to support Kamala's campaign. But here you come and tell us that, I like what Bawizi is doing, so I want to support Bawizi, but not knowing behind the door he's going to see him and taking a white envelope.
Because the government is not supporting them, so that is their cocoa season.
That's what I'm saying. People fail to know that when this person is coming, what is his policy? How will the policy benefit me and my familyhood or my family?
Familyhood.
Yeah, your
livelihood.
My livelihood. Thank you. How would that how would that support my family? That should be what we should. But here we're always thinking about, they still give me $2 million. Hey, $2 million. Even if the party wins, I can do this. I can. You understand?
Cybertruck.
Everybody's thinking about me. Not us. Everybody's thinking about me. And that's where we are struggling. So Omane Champon can stand up one morning and say, I support MPP. MPP there. When we need a banner, phrases will become crying and the school data. None of them benefited from it.
But yes, family members.
I'm just giving you examples of how these things look like. But because of a new scan of Koje, honorable, honorable, white envelope. So at the end of the day, when excuse me, say Mahama, God. Okay, if God doesn't make it happen. If Mahama becomes president, such a person is even shy to come and say, congrats, John Mahama, why are they? That same person will stand and say, hey, Abano Mariam, Ghana phone, Ghana crack. So at the end of the day, we always hold malice.
But have you ever heard a free and fair election in Ghana before from people after voting?
You see,
once your favorite didn't win, it was a cheat.
It's a human thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Every time your favorite it doesn't go your way,
it happens with football, with everything. It happens.
It's human nature, and it's one thing that you and I can't control.
So the question we need to
even the classroom prefect.
The question
electing a class prefect.
Yeah, the question we need to be asking is: are our elections that transparent? These are questions because what happened in the United States of America? The election started today. By the next day,
they are done.
Somebody said it's pink sheet to be any.
You see here, the officer will count maybe 5 times.
The boss himself or herself will come, invite the media, mention the figures, get it wrong, go back, come back again, mention the figure. They mention the figures like 3-4 times.
We're the one who went to pick single one. They can count it like maybe 10 times.
Yes. Can you just imagine? So that's the problem. It also has to do with the whole system. I'm not sure That if the system is that transparent, people really understand what they are doing, and there hasn't been that back and forth with counting and everything, people wouldn't say that, I have lost. And we have seen people leaving office and congratulating those who were coming in. Yes, I accept defeat and all of that. We have also had times that people had not congratulated those coming because they felt that, I was cheated and all of that. You understand? So for me, I think that the whole system has not been that transparent. No. That transparency, we haven't seen that over the years. And so until we get to that point, still people will think that they have been cheated, after elections.
Nice. So let's look at future directions. Let's explore innovative ways where the entertainment industry can further engage in promoting peace in Ghana.
Future directions, for me, I'm looking at a future where Ghana doesn't have to be having all these musical concerts, peaceful musical concerts. We don't have to go on all these walks and all of that. Yeah, the walks are also nice. I mean, it's good for our health and all. But it shouldn't be something that we should be so fixated on and always drumming it into people's ears. I think if the people are living well enough, they are not going to think about war. They are not going to think about going to snatch a ballot box. If the average youth has something in his pocket every month, something meaningful to live on, they don't have to wait for a politician to come and tell them that, hey, uko police station, when I saw me say, hey, Tracy Kine, do this, go and change the ballot box, or go and take the ballot box, or do this. Or I think that was last 4 years ago, somewhere in a Fia constituency, somebody went and he got about 5 or 4 ballot papers. He was just thumbprinting.
Rejected ballots.
So if the average person has the basic needs, his basic needs sorted, they don't have to think about doing anything that will affect the peace that we have. So for me, that is a future I am looking at, a future where we don't have to be thinking about how things are going to think about whether the country is still going to be peaceful after December 7th or after January 7th. We don't have to be thinking about all those stuff. So for me, that is the future I am looking forward to. Not every day, Biana, Yonko Bompaye. He has other countries that are actually worthy of his attention. Yes.
Let me come to you. Let me come to you, Chris.
So, for me, I think there's so much selfishness in the system, especially amongst politicians. They are thinking about themselves. And I'm sure even in this country, some politicians think more about the party more than the country.
Oh, yeah, they do.
They hold the party, in that, esteem than the country that they are coming to rule. But sometimes they forget that if the people in the country are no more, who are you going to rule? If the people in the country are no more, then the question is, who are you going to rule over? You'd have to rule over your own people. Yourself. Is it going to work? So we need to begin to think along those lines. People should not be that selfish. Entertainers, musicians. You see, some musicians are such that because my party is in power and I'm getting the goodies, I don't care about the next man. They will tell you that it is business. And so some of them, it's not actually about business. It's about selfishness and greed. So they think about themselves alone, whatever will come into their pocket alone. And so they don't think along those lines where, people should be on board. We should all move towards one direction. This is a country, Ghana. We all need to have a peaceful Ghana so we can all coexist in that peaceful manner. We don't have such mindset. And so until we get there, until we get to that point where people don't become too selfish, selfishness amongst creative musicians and all of that, I think we'll be good to go. We'll be good to go because I have seen in 2008, before the American elections, where musicians have stood on stage, BET Awards, and said that I know who I'm voting for. I am voting for Obama and all of that. They have said those things, but you ask yourself that did they go for money before saying that? No, you wouldn't. But here, you can't say the same thing.
The language is different. Honorable.
You can't say the same thing. Honorable. So much selfishness in the system, and so until we get to a point. You see, if you are a musician, you are whoever, entertainer, creative, and you decide to support party A, I don't have any problem. But the thing is that if things are not going well,
you should be able to.
You should be able to say it, because anytime you bring out your music, you expect people to go and stream. You understand?
Okay, so
they buy data.
So, Chris, I think that issue, and people don't seem to understand it from this point, that you are now closer to the decision makers.
Yes.
Like you've campaigned for them. So when an issue happens, that probably there's a road they are supposed to work on, they've not worked on it. Before you would be able to go and post online, you call the person and have a conversation with the person. And the person might give you justified reasons why that particular thing is not done. So you as a human being, in your rightful senses, there is no way you go and talk about or talk against it. Like probably you are talking about Galamsey, that is destroying our water bodies, blah, blah, blah. And you are close to probably any politician. And you pick a phone, you're like, hello, boss. Oh, boss, but your people, why you put a do so? The water bodies and things. The person might give you a breakdown for you to understand that it seems like what is going on is politically driven. It is not from the main caucus. We all understand that what is going on is wrong. We wish we could fix it, but A, B, and C is our stumbling block. Such a person will never pick a phone and go and tweet. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
So that is the thing. And
it's supposed to be something that happens almost everywhere, because I have Honorable's number to call him anytime I want to talk to Honorable.
Yes. So that is where the selfishness I'm talking about comes in. You understand?
You understand. You understand now.
No, you are thinking about yourself alone, and that is it. You remember, you sing for people. People go out there. You want people to go and stream your songs. People buy data. You understand? We are talking about digitalization, but data is expensive here. You should be able to, as a musician, as a creative, you should be able to tell the people who manage.
What if you've said data is expensive, blah blah blah. Now you speak to someone like Esla, who is the Minister for Communication, and she's able to tell you, oh, you know what? The issue is there is this SMP here, blah, blah, blah. That is why our data charges are higher than other African countries. Give you examples that when you go to a place like Nigeria, convert A, B, and C, you see our own might even be cheaper. So that is the reason why our data is like this. All these conversations are things that if they are said behind door or back door, you feel like, oh, it means I have a broader understanding on the supposed thing. It's not like, because I just want to be heard, so I'll come on social media and say, oh, the masses are doing it, so I have to come and talk. When I have direct link, like I have direct access to know what is going wrong. You see,
the politicians will always give you a reason for whatever is going on. Stoneboy wanted to sing about Galamsey. He went out the studio, video, whatever, it is out there. He didn't need to call a politician to ask about Galamsey and whatever. Right. And that is what I'm talking about. Once you decide to call a politician, they will give you a reason.
Interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we draw down the curtain for tonight's edition of The Big Plate. It's been an awesome one. Kindly subscribe to our socials at Onekingmultimedia. Send your comments, share our videos, and be a part of this wonderful family. Until then, we are back same time, God willing, this week. Bye.